News Radio, WAB 1180, welcomes you to The Seniors Rock Show, presented by the law firm of Wesley, Clark, and Feshkin. The Seniors Rock Show, a lively weekly discussion, shedding a bright light on aging with fun, entertainment, and important info for all adults. Join us with your comments or questions. Call or text 222-1180 or 1-800-295-1180. Now, from the News Radio WAM 1180 studios in downtown Rochester, here's your host, Joanna Palvino.
Well, hello there, and good afternoon to you. It's really great to be here today. Our resident attorney, Mike Robinson, is back. He's a partner with Wesley, Clark, and Peshkin now, and I'm glad to see his face. And I hope, Mike, that you got some rest time in on your vacation. Did you enjoy yourself?
Hi, Joanna. I sure did, and I'm happy to be back. It was great I was in Portland, Oregon, of course, and it was great to spend some time with my son, Nate, and his significant other, Ashley, in their natural habitat. Yeah, and it's a great city. I mean, it's just a fabulous city, a lot of good food. We had a lot of good hikes. We didn't try and beat ourselves up and do too much, but we got to the ocean, got to, as I said, do some hiking, some urban hiking, which was fun. And yeah, had an overall great time.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm glad to hear you took time for yourself because I know you've had a lot going on the last few months and all positive stuff, but even positive stuff, can lead to a little bit of anxiety and some stress. So self-care is important for many reasons, folks. And I think we all know that. And one is for mental health. May is National Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to try to bring you some awareness about mental health, to everybody that's listening in the next hour. And you can share the show if you want to later. It'll be on the website. We'll post it this week. That's seniorsrockradio.com. And according to the National Institute of Mental Health, Mike, 1 in 5 U.S. adults currently lives with a mental health condition. That's a lot of people. It also reports that only about half of those will seek professional care, and that's for symptoms. They're already having symptoms, and they won't know how or be able to contact someone. So we'll talk about those things today, and we're going to talk to local mental health professional counselor Nancy McQueen Mooney is with us, and her goal in her practice is to teach wellness for life, and we really like that goal. So we're happy to have her on later in the show. Music is a great mood booster. You know that, Mike. So listen later in the show, folks, for Deanna Crawford. She'll have the summer concert series that's going to be at the Village at Unity this summer. And great stuff there. They have a great time. We'll talk more about that today. And, we need some kick up our heels time, especially with the news that we hear all the time from everything. And a lot of it we have to weed through or maybe just ignore. But that's something we need to talk about today. Mike, I understand you recently attended a lecture on the subject of violence. And it was, I believe, it had to do with gun violence in seniors. What did you learn?
Yeah, so it was a lecture presented by the Harvard Medical School, actually, who is doing a lot of research on the topic of gun violence generally. But this talk specifically was about the impact of gun violence on older adults, which was why I attended, because it's something I want to be aware of as I'm working with my clients, and some interesting information, a few statistics that really stood out to me. One is that regarding suicides, more than half of suicides are gun deaths, and on the flip side of that, interestingly, of all gun deaths, half of those are suicides. And those wouldn't necessarily correlate with one another, but they happen to. And so in particular, this particular speaker was focusing a lot just about gun safety. It was not an anti-gun presentation of any sort. It was just really focusing on issues to be aware of with older adults in particular, because So oftentimes, as we know, suicides result from extreme mental health stress. And many of those stressors tend to increase in folks as they do age. And in fact, another statistic, and I don't recall the exact percentage, but with older men in particular, the older they get, the greater the risk for gun-related suicide. So it was an interesting presentation, and just as mental health awareness is about being aware of mental health issues, the benefit of this lecture was, let's be aware of these issues, and with our parents, with friends, other loved ones, let's try to be attuned to what they're dealing with. And in this particular situation, if there are guns in the home, let's make sure that they're safe. And maybe in some instances they should be removed from the home, at least for a period of time.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things. If you see something, say something, because you could be saving a life. And if there's a concern, speak up. And I think this is a good time too to bring up the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That's 988, folks. We all know 911, 988. We've brought this up before. It's the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you are thinking about killing yourself, if you are thinking about, you can't get out of that deep ravine of darkness, call that number. They will help you. It's 24 hours. They have English and Spanish. And today we're going to try to, shine a light, if you will, on mental health and take part in this Mental Health Awareness Month. And I hope that our listeners will join us. And Mike, there's a few things that you can do. We talked about this earlier, and I wanted to share this before we start because we're going to touch on some of these things, but I don't think you can say it enough. Here are some of the things that we've talked about that can help, and maybe you can, you know, uh, do to help educate yourself. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can take an online mental health screening,
Yep.
and just again put you in touch with what's happening in your own life, and what you should be paying attention to.
Absolutely. That's a great one. And, you're in the comfort of your own home. I mean, we did learn that from the COVID experience that we can do pretty much everything from home. So that is a big relief, I think. And, self care we can do at home as well. And I think meditating is a big one. And I'm going to try so hard to do that more. And, I forget, but I think I'm going to put it on my calendar and every day try to remind myself to meditate for a little bit. I don't know. I know, Mike, that you do. Christina Lynn, do you meditate? I'm just curious.
I do. I also focus on breath work a lot too.
Love it. Terrific. So, yes, it's very acceptable, folks. A few years back, I'm of the age where people would be like, oh, they're doing that meditating, like it's something weird, but it's very acceptable now. And there's living proof that it helps everybody.
Absolutely. And another thing you can do, and I just mentioned this a little bit a few moments ago, is certainly we need to pay attention to ourselves, but we need to pay attention to each other. And so, check in with the folks around you. Again, whether it's a parent, a friend, a spouse, a child, a co-worker, pay attention, be interested, and be open to offering some help.
Yeah, just actually just sitting there and listening sometimes is all that someone might need, and we don't have to have the answers, and that's important to remember too. And there are some really wonderful alternative methods. We're going to talk about a couple of those today, and to calm yourself and to get in touch with reality if you're getting a little bit out there, because hey, we cannot hide this. There's so much bad news on the in the media, in the paper, in the magazines, wherever you look. There's something to upset you. I guess I'm going to say it straight up. It's upsetting, and I can understand why people get stressed out. So we're going to talk about that today. I hope that it helps anyone who's listening. And so if you're one of those people that feels concern and feels like they're getting out of touch, then please stay with us because we have had a recent spike in violence in our community, and that's affecting us. Mental health counselor Nancy McQueen Mooney is going to join us next to talk about this. And if you stay with us, she's going to be talking to you. News Radio Wham 1180.
Our area's first direct primary care practice, Athena Direct Primary Care and Lifestyle Medicine, is open. Direct primary care is an innovative alternative to traditional corporate-style primary care, where you pay a monthly membership fee. There are no fee-for-service payments, no third-party billing. So less paperwork leaves time for extraordinary direct access to your own private physician, a members-only phone line, and unlimited, unhurried appointments. And other services are included too. That's all for one low rate. Athena Direct Primary Care is accepting new patients for a limited time only. Book your free meet and greet with Dr. Laura Petrescu today. Learn about this wonderful new practice, including membership benefits and the costs, at athenadirectcare.com. That's athenadirectcare.com. Or you can call. It's 585.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We just talked about that in the first segment. And the reason for that is anxiety is growing, and more people are worried. Kids are, teachers are, parents are, and elders are. We're living in a society that's filled with concerns. And, it's something we want to bring into the light today. So, many people have issues, and we wondered if they've changed over the years. And excuse me, my other phone's ringing there. Our guest today says that they have, and there's more anxiety since COVID. I think we all know that. And kids for sure are feeling it. But also, she brought up the fact that jobs have changed and financially people are worried. The bottom line is people need skills. They need a toolbox basically to go to know what to do to bring down the anxiety. And that's what Nancy McQueen Mooney believes and practices. She holds an MS in education and is a licensed mental health counselor. After graduating from the U of R, Nancy worked as a middle school counselor for 38 years. Her private practice is focused on anxiety and depression, and she has an interest in energy work. Mainly EFT tapping, which we're going to talk about. But Nancy works with people 12 years and older, and she has 2 adult sons herself and a 1-year-old hound dog named Penny Lane, and she loves them all. That's what she said. So I would like to welcome right now Nancy McQueen Mooney to Seniors Rock. Hello, Nancy.
Hello. I'm so glad to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, Nancy, thanks for joining us. We're on limited time here, so I'm going to jump right into it. Nancy, tell us, what are some signs of anxiety in older adults?
Well, I'll just name a few. Being irritable might be one. Startling easily is another. Having difficulty sleeping and withdrawing from others. Those are all signs. And physical symptoms might include headaches, muscle tension, nausea, digestive issue, or a racing heart.
Wow. And obviously, those are all things that you could mistake for other things. And I guess, what are some of the possible causes of increased anxiety in these days?
Well, and you mentioned we live in stressful times. So there could be stress from being dependent on others, the cost of living expenses or medical expense, bereavement, social isolation and loneliness, fear of falling or other medical emergencies. Those are all causes.
Yeah, and boy, we've touched on a few of those things on the show, and that was quite a list, I have to say. It's pretty frightening, and I know, I we always try to be really positive on this show, Nancy, and it's something I felt and Mike felt that we had to bring up, and that we can't, sugarcoat it anymore. We have to talk about some of these things that are making people anxious, and of course, we want to get some information from you on how to help. And Mike has a question.
And so I think that leads, Nancy, to the question, what are some ways that people can relieve their anxious feelings?
Oh, my favorite topic. And I call it the toolbox. And we all are feeling anxiety on different levels. So once you start to be aware that you're in charge, not it, you can reach into the toolbox and grab some of these ways. So first is breathing. Deep breathing is a great way to manage physiological symptoms. You guys also mentioned tapping, and I'd love to talk about that more another time. It's about tapping on points on the body and acknowledging how you feel. Mindfulness, That is being fully focused on the present moment, not past or future. And when we dwell on the past or the future, anxiety kicks in. We want to be right in the moment. When you combine mindfulness with deep breathing, wonderful results.
Oh, this is great. We're going to have you back to talk about EFT tapping. It's really something interesting to hear about. Nancy, please tell the folks how they can get a hold of you, and thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, you can call me. So the number's 585-633-8773, or you can find me on Psychology Today. Put my name into therapist, Nancy McQueen Mooney. I am so honored to be here, and I'd love to help more.
That's great, Nancy. Thank you so much. We definitely will have you back. And folks, time to get your calendar out because we've got a list of concerts you will not want to miss. A great local music lineup for the summer after the break here on Seniors Rock Radio.
When you've lost movement, flexibility, strength, or balance, traveling a long distance for physical therapy seems like a bad decision. That's why Agape Physical Therapy has a convenient location near you, east side or west side. And there's a new location in Pittsford with Aqua Therapy. Let Agape Physical Therapy and wellness professionals customize a treatment program for you to help you recover quickly. Visit agapephysicaltherapy.com and schedule your free consultation today. No doctor referral needed.
And locomote right back here to the Seniors Rock Show, where we are joined by a frequent guest, actually, Deanna Crawford from the Unity, the Village at Unity. And Deanna is the event planning coordinator, and she's going to tell us about the upcoming concert series. Welcome back, Deanna.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Wonderful.
Hey, Deanna,
Great.
it's Joanna. I wanted to say hi, and I
Joanna.
wanted, before we start the questions, I wanted to congratulate you and everybody there on winning the U.S. News World Report's Best Assisted Living Community. Wait a minute, nationwide. That's huge.
Yes.
So congrats.
Yes, it is huge. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, I think Mike and I definitely know why, because we've been there when you've done some of these events, and you're at the helm, if you will. So tell us, will you, about the summer concerts that are coming up? What's going on? Because I went to a couple last year, and they were a great time.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this year's summer concerts. It's our fourth year doing our concerts, and each year they get better and better. This year we're going to be having them on Tuesday nights, starting Tuesday, June 13th. They'll run every other Tuesday through September 5th. They're all from 6:30 until 8 p.m. and will be held on our Village Green, which is behind our community.
Great. And who have you got lined up for this summer?
We have a great lineup this year. We have the Sky Coasters coming back. They'll actually kick off the season on June 13th. We also have Acoustic Brew, the Bob Greco Band, Me and the Boys, 8 days a week, Nightfall After Dark, and we will finish the season with Ruby Shoes.
Cool. It's really fun. And folks, it's in a beautiful area out on the lawn. Now, I know that there's more than music. Tell them what else you have there.
There is. We're actually going to have, this year, for the first time, we're having our Village concession set up. So we're really excited for that. They'll be selling, your usual hamburger, hot dogs, and then they're going to add special menu items each week as the summers go on. We're actually theming our concerts this year called Back in Time. And we'll have some fun decades nights, starting with the 80s, going back to the 50s. So we'll kind of theme some specials around those decades. We'll also have Flower City Scoops, which is an ice cream cart there selling their ice cream, novelties, and cones. And the Beer Wagon will be back for the third year in a row.
Which also has wine.
Beer and wine. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah,
all right. Well, hey,
really
Deanna, thanks so much. It's a great time always out there at the Village at Unity. Looking forward to this summer's series. And again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you out dancing on the lawn.
I'm going to ask a quick
I
question
hope.
before you go, though.
Yeah,
Are there any
yeah.
regulations? I mean, anybody can go, right? Can you bring food, or
Yep.
what's the
It is.
rules?
Yep, it's free and open to the public. We just ask. There is no smoking on campus. It's a smoke-free campus, so we ask that there's no smoking and no outside food or beverages allowed, and that's just because of the alcohol that's going to be sold there.
All right,
have to make
Deanna.
sure
Thank
we're
you. We're going to
liable.
have to go because we have a couple things to say. Mike?
We'll see you back here after the break.
I'll see you on the dance floor, Deanna. Welcome back to Seniors Rock Radio. We've had a great hour today. It's been a quick one, of course, and we could talk about mental health awareness all day. It is National Mental Health Awareness Month, and I hope that we gave you at least one thing that made you think about it, and maybe you'll share with other people. And tell folks about the show, if you will. We'll be back Saturday at noon. We're here every week, and we bring experts to the show. And I'd like to thank our experts from today, Nancy McQueen Mooney. She's a mental health counselor who had some great tips for us, and Deanna Crawford from the Village at Unity. Always like to thank our sponsors, of course. And I think one of the takeaways from this one is the 988 number. Please make sure that you share that. It is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's open 24 hours, and it's English and Spanish, and that's very important. And this is also the part of the show where we like to talk about things that are coming up and what we're doing. Mike, what are you doing this weekend?
So, well, there's a lot going on this weekend. Of course, the PGA is in town. I can't believe they're playing in this weather this afternoon, but they are out on the course. I'll be out there tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. Lilac Festival wrapping up this weekend, and I was looking at the lineup for the bands tomorrow in particular, and a couple of great bands, Acoustic Brew and Into the Now. I hope folks can get out. It's supposed to be a beautiful day tomorrow. I know there's a big horse race today, Joanna, that you've got some skin in the game.
I'm the winner. Everybody vote for number 6, Produce, because that is going to be the winner. That's one I got my money on. Not that I'm a big gambler, but this is we do this with the horse race every year just for fun.
Gotcha. So so a lot, and it just, today is a tough day to be outside, but tomorrow looks like a good one. So hopefully a good day for some yard work or some bike riding or whatever you like to do.
Well, I think it's kind of Scottish weather, St. Andrews.
There you go.
These guys should be used to this. I mean, really, I don't think they should be complaining. Get a little wet, guys. It's okay. Right?
Yeah, speaking of which, I think today it might be a Celtic weekend at Lincoln Hill Farms out in Canandaigua.
Seriously, I'm going to check that out because every year I miss it, but I'm on a cane this year. It doesn't matter. I'll get out there. I'm going to see if I can do that. So thanks for that reminder. Folks, don't forget that there's all kinds of things to be thankful for, things to think about that are positive, and we try to do that every week. So join us next week again. Tell your friends about the show. Mike?
Hey, everybody. Have a great week. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. As I always like to say, be well and be kind.
Absolutely. Don't forget to take care of yourself, do some self-care, and hope that you'll remind everyone out there that help is out there. People who care are out here. And when it comes to aging, don't forget to tell them. Are you ready, guys? Do it with me. Christina, let's do it. Seniors rock. Have a great weekend.